Hi, Jay Fallon, and thanks for listening to the Slippery Slope. Quick reminder before we get into things, I did release an episode on my other channel, Aussie Police Watch, regarding the timeline for New Zealand police officer, former New Zealand police officer, Jevon McSkimming. So if you're interested in seeing that, go to the channel Aussie Police Watch. Uh, if you haven't already, please subscribe. I've just got all my police stuff over there. Anyway, let's get into this story here regarding the Chinese Communist Party and a possible, I think very possible, influence here in Queensland, Australia.
Got my eyes straight ahead, got my head in the game. With the red light on, I'm just waiting for the change. Keep my head down low.
Okay, first, I'd like to thank Men of Faith Ministries for putting me onto this. But let's check out this headline here, news.com.au. Foreign occupation Drew Pavlo blocked protesting CCP official by Queensland Police liaison officers. Police liaison officers. We had a saying when I was working up in the far north, and you had liaison officers there who I got along with really well. They're awesome to work with. But I always said to other officers, I would like to go and be a police liaison officer later on in life when you're forced to retire at 60, because you have the benefits of being a liaison officer is you have all the love and none of the real responsibilities. Anyway, let's check out this story quickly. As anti-CCP activist has been confronted, an anti-CCP activist has been confronted by Queensland Police liaison officers while trying to protest a visit by Xi Jinping's right-hand man in Brisbane. Queensland Police liaison officers have been filmed preventing activist Drew Pavlo from displaying a disrespectful, in their opinion, I suppose, sign during a visit by the Chinese President Xi Jinping's right-hand man, Zhao Liji, the chairman of the Standing Committee of the National People's Congress of China and the third highest ranking person in the Chinese government, touched down in Brisbane on Saturday for a high-level 4-day visit. Pavlo, a former Queensland Senate candidate and serial protester against the CCP, who has had multiple run-ins with police at similar events, attempted to hold up a sign during a stop by Chairman Zhao to the Lone Pine Koala Sanctuary in Fig Tree Pocket. The joke sign read in English and Chinese, "Gold Coast luxury condos for sale. She is very angry with you. Defect now while you still can." In footage of the stunt, the 26-year-old attempts to interview several CCP supporters waiting for Chairman Zhao before he is approached by Queensland police officers. You coming here today to film, celebrate, whatever? You going to do any protest whatsoever? One asks. I'm just standing in the open. As long as you don't do anything silly, you're not going to be arrested or something like that, okay? The officer says. As long as you don't yell, you don't swear, if you're just coming here to basically watch the crowd. Two Queensland Police liaison officers then get involved and take issue with his sign. Liaison officers don't have any actual authority. They don't have any powers under the police, under the PPRA, or anything like that, the Police Powers and Responsibilities Act. They don't have, not as far as I know or remember, I learned when I was at the academy or in the police, there's nothing they can actually do. They don't have any powers of arrest, to detain, question, or anything like that. There's no powers. They've got to, they liaise. It's all in the title. According to the Queensland Police website, liaison officers are employed to establish and maintain a positive rapport between culturally specific communities and the QPS. Nothing offensive, no insults or swear words. He told? The female liaison officer told her colleagues, even if it's not offensive, it's still probably potentially disrespectful. It may not be right at this point for security and safety. She's deciding. The liaison officer is deciding for security and safety. Footage shows Queensland Police consulting with the stern-looking male liaison officer before the first officer returns. Update. They're not going to take your poster. They're not stopping you from basically expressing your opinions and everything. This is what I think the police officer's saying about the liaison officers, like they have some kind of authority to take it. But this part here is basically restricted for supporters and everything, he says. But you can. Since when can you restrict an area, a public area, only for supporters? Well, anyway, that's pretty unfair, Pablo says. At that point, Another officer informs him that this whole front area has been allocated for supporters. So he's ended up getting on the bench to yell, Mr. Liegi, who we support you, Mr. Liegi, defect now before she comes. Pavlo is then escorted back to his car by officers. So look, this is silencing dissent, CCP, Chinese Communist Party influence, and uh, and some more another piece of evidence of cover-up culture here within the Queensland Police Service. You've got this disturbing incident. Queensland activist Drew Pavlo blocked by liaison officers from protesting. It's not about really just one protest. It's about the bigger picture: foreign influence, Chinese foreign influence, recruitment failures. What kind of liaison officers are we recruiting? Are they really just here to liaise between Queensland Police and people, or are they actually here serving a different purpose, serving a darker purpose? And you've got that culture of cover up that threatens our freedoms, I believe. So Pavlo, he's long been outspoken against CCP influence in Australia. His protests are peaceful, but often involving signs and public presence. Yet when he tries to protest this official, the liaison officers intervene, not to protest, not to protect his right to free speech, but to shield the visiting dignitary. That's not their role. Think about that. Australian police officers were getting involved. They're sworn to uphold our laws, preventing an Australian citizen from exercising democratic rights, all to appease a foreign government. You have the police officers involved, the liaison officers involved, all to appease this foreign government, this dignitary. That's not policing, that's suppression. And it raises the question, whose interests are our police actually serving? So we've been talking about recruitment and recruitment failures. Police service, our police service have shifted to selling the badge as a lifestyle package, promising, 100 grand a year in your first year, stable hours, stable benefits. And look, I am all for police making good money. I'm not against the whole how much money you make. I think it's a good thing. But when you're selling it as this is your main influence, this is how you want to influence people to come and attract just because of lifestyle and just because of money, I don't believe you're going to be recruiting the right types of people. You're going to be recruiting people who are just interested in money and lifestyle and not really interested in serving the community. When you recruit for lifestyle instead of integrity, you attract candidates who see the badge as a paycheck and not a calling. And when foreign nationals or individuals with divided loyalties are recruited, the risks multiply. I believe they might have a problem here with these Chinese liaison officers. They see this recruitment not as lifestyle, but they see it as a calling for them to continue servicing the CCP. Maybe. Is that what's happening? Because policing, it's not just about enforcing laws, it's about protecting sovereignty. And if recruitment standards are lowered, whether it's police or police liaison officers, we open the door to influence, manipulation, and infiltration. Think about this. This isn't just paranoia. We've had ASIO. ASIO has repeatedly warned the nation, warned our Prime Minister, our Parliament about CCP spies operating within Australia. They've highlighted attempts to infiltrate institutions, universities, businesses, even government agencies. Maybe QPS? Pressure campaigns. They've also highlighted how they've been instituting pressure campaigns against activists and dissidents who they deem are dissidents, and also operating covert influence operations designed to shape public opinion and policy. When police block protests against CCP officials, it looks less like neutral crowd control and more like compliance with foreign influence. And that's exactly what ASIO has warned us about. The danger of CCP operatives working within our borders, eroding our sovereignty from the inside. Freedom isn't just a political concept, it's also a spiritual one. Here in Australia, we are free to worship, we are free to express our religious beliefs, whether we're Christian, whether you're Buddhist, whatever religion, whatever belief system you have, okay? But when we allow foreign powers to dictate who can speak, when we allow our own institutions to silence dissent, we're surrendering not just our rights, but our values. And values matter, because without truth, justice collapses. Without courage, freedom fades away. So here's the reality of it all. Drew Pavlo was silenced by police officers protecting a foreign official. Police officers working hand in hand with police liaison officers who appeared to be dictating the grounds for which he could be there. The recruitment strategies have lowered standards. So you have police who don't really know their authority, police liaison officers who are overstepping their authority. And now, because we've lowered these standards for recruitment, we're attracting people for lifestyle and not service. People who don't really know what their responsibilities, understand what their responsibilities are. ASIO has warned us about CCP spies operating within our borders. So if you put all of this together, you can see you've got this slippery slope, a culture of cover-ups, a willingness to suppress dissent, and a dangerous openness to foreign influence. I believe the answer, what we need to do, we need to demand accountability. If we do not demand accountability, if we don't protect our, what at the moment is our very limited freedom of speech, if we don't protect what little we have, then we risk losing the very sovereignty that defines us as a nation. This is all my opinion. Please let me know what you think. I'm Jay Fallon. Go and check out my music on Spotify, Apple Music. It's just Jay Fallon. Check out Beautiful Friend. Thank you for listening to The Slippery Slope.
They just fuel a desire that will take me higher. I'm on fire because nothing's gonna bring me down. Nothing's gonna bring me down. Nothing's gonna stop me now. No more demons to be done. No nothing's gonna just focus on me goal. Nothing's gonna stop me now. Nothing's gonna hold me down. Got my eye on the prize. Gonna say